Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the compound. We are back out in the shop today, and we are going to start on a table for my axe throwing board, somewhere to set your drinks and put the axes down, things like that. So I've already gotten started a little bit here. I cut four 24-inch, 2-inch angle irons, and that's going to be the top. The wood board from a log that I've harvested will go in the top of that, and that'll be the base of the table. And then I'll have some square tubing legs. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mark and cut the 45-degree angles on these so they'll fit together in a nice corner. And we'll get started on that right now. There's your 90 degrees. Just need to weld those together. It should be good to go. All right, we're getting ready to weld. So, got these sort of put together. I'll put that together in a bit, but we'll get ready to weld here and start tacking this frame together. Okay, we are getting ready to weld, tack these corners together here, get started. I need to clean my tip here before I do that. Getting a lot of splatter in there. So you can see it's got a lot of splatter in the tip there. So I'm going to use my trusty welding pliers here. Clean that out. You don't want anything interfering with the weld, and make sure the gas is getting all the way around. Does it look different? Sure does. Okay. Screw this back together. All right, here we go.
Gotta find my way to you, even though you're next to me. No matter what I do, your heart is drifting out of reach. Head underwater, I'm swimming harder, trying to keep this alive. Gotta find my way.
Flip this over. You can see I just tacked it on the inside. Flip it over. I'm gonna do most of my welding on the back side here. because I want the table board to fit in there flat. So just get this going here.
Gotta find my way to you, even though you're next to me. No matter what I do, your heart is drifting out of reach.
All right, as you can see, got the seams welded there all the way around.
You're next to me. No matter what
Now I'm just gonna grind that so it's flat, and then I'll be able to start putting the leg supports in, and then I can go mill that piece of wood that I cut out of that slab and get it to fit, and we'll have a table sooner or later. So we'll keep moving. Okay, now I'm gonna grind the tacks so that bore sits on here nice and flat. Now, as you can see, got the welds ground down, so the table board should fit in there nice and flat. And then other side, those are ground smooth so the leg will mount nice. Next step is putting the legs together. Okay, y'all, you know me, changing on the fly. So instead of using square tubing, I'm going to use some 3/4 inch rebar for the legs. So this is a 72-inch piece. Cut it in half at 36 inches. Perfect length for the legs. So I'll get that done. All right, there we go. Got 2 of the legs here. Do the other 2. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen these to points. And that way the legs can just stick into the ground. When I move the table around, it'll just stick. So I think that's going to be the plan, but who knows? I might change again. So we'll see. I just love using that big 7-inch grinder, and that mount I made for it works pretty damn good. So I had to put my cap on in the middle of that. I had a lot of sparks landing on the top of my head. Oh yeah, there's a lot of debris. Probably burnt my scalp a bunch. So always wear your protective PPE. Anyway, I think I got those sharpened up enough. We'll see. Play it by ear a little bit before we do the mounting. But I think that's going to be it for today. Be finishing this probably, I don't know, maybe Sunday I'll get to it. I'll have brackets between the legs, probably smaller rebar, just sort of connecting them all so they don't, pull apart. But I think this is going to turn out pretty cool looking. I'm got some ideas for some homemade cup holders as well, out of steel that I can weld to the side, or maybe use some riv nuts or something to attach them. So Get some ideas, but you know how it is. It can change. So I will be back as quick as you can snap your fingers. Good afternoon, everybody. We are back in the shop today, and I am going to start putting the legs on this table for the axe throwing table. So we're going to get these legs installed, and I think then we'll get to the next step, doing the leg supports, and we'll take it from there. Here we go. Okay, got the 4 legs on, as you can see. Now I got to do is put the supports crisscross in between there, and that'll stable it out and make them all straight up and down. They're pretty close, nice and level, but I'm going to put supports in the middle. So I'll do that next. Okay, as you can see, I've got the ratchet straps sort of squaring this thing off to hold it. As you can see, they're not very tight, but that's pretty close. And I got my center support in there, nice and level. I just have to weld that on. And then I'll do another support the other direction. And then that table will be squared and ready to go. So here we go. All right, that cross member is done. Now I'll just measure the other side and get that cut and get that put in. Okay, so I have milled a couple of boards out of trees here from the property, some 2-inch oak boards, and I put them in the top. So that's what that looks like. So it's pretty rustic. They're just 2-inch boards set inside, I got another round here I'm going to use to sort of stick the axes in. But I think I'm just going to leave it rustic. I don't think I'm going to finish it. It's just going to be outside and get destroyed, so I'll just put new boards in it and burn the ones I need to burn when I need to burn them. So what do I have left on this? I am going to build cup holders that I think will sort of attach to the rebar legs. I will knock some of those out, maybe a prototype, and then we'll go from there. So that's the next step. Welcome back, everybody. I am at the point where I'm going to call this table complete. I think in the last clip showed you putting the wood on the top here. All I had to do was do the cup holders, and I got my prototype done. I didn't want to bore you with that, but I'll show it to you here real quick. Okay, this is my cup holder prototype. This will sort of compression fit on the rail. As you can see, it's just rebar tacked and welded together. That's the little part that goes around the rebar. So I'll show you that. All right, you got your table here. It just sort of clipped on the side like that, and the more weight you put on it, the better it'll hold. So here it is, axe throwing table out here, the axe throwing board. Again, we got my manufactured cup holder. This is my prototype, so it's just a compression fit holder. I'm making a few more of those. There's the table completed. Again, I'm going to leave it rough. Just replace the boards whenever they warp or whatever, but they're 2 inches thick, so that might be a bit. But I get the other cup holders done, and it'll be complete. There was one more piece, and that is the scoring module that I'm creating for this. I will film that and probably do another video on making that scoring module for the axe throwing table. It'll mount to it and it'll be pretty cool. But that is the table in a nutshell. Again, as always, thank you for coming to the compound and doing these projects with me. And hi kids, that's what this is for. So again, thanks for watching.